Hello, Michael. How are you today?
That's actually Miko. How's it going?
Miko. Let me make sure I say that correct.
How's it going with you, my brother?
Pretty good. It is going well. I want to thank you very much for agreeing to talk with PrideIndex.com about Meak Productions.
Thank you so much for the invitation. The honor is still mine, my brother. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So I want to start off just by asking you to talk a little bit about yourself and your life journey, where you are right now in the process, and how did Meak Productions come into fruition?
Wow, that's a big, broad question. I'm going to try to break it down as much as I can. My name is Miko Evans, of course, and I've been an artist. I'm what you call an artist / entrepreneur, because not only am I performing artist, singer, songwriter, producer, and also a visual artist, been doing graphic and web design. I've been an entrepreneur for professionally for 19 years. Next year, I'll be celebrating my 20th anniversary in entrepreneurship. And so I kind of been on the grind for a long time. And as far as I am a graduate of the Art Institute of Atlanta. My degree is in music business management. And so like I said, been pursuing things on the entertainment scene for a minute. Of course, you know, my hometown is Atlanta, Georgia. And as far as the inspiration behind Meak Productions, of course, is known as the world's first LGBT exclusive talent agency and production company. And the idea came as a result of the beginning changes that was starting to take place on the entertainment end as it relates to a more progressive presence or consistent presence of the LGBT image in the media and in entertainment. During the time when I actually created the concept, I was actually in conversation and working with one of my elementary school classmates who actually came out some years ago after we graduated from high school, what have you. And so we started doing business together, and she happened to actually had a booth at, what year was that? It was at, I think, the '03 Atlanta Black Gay Pride. And so during that time, under my main business, the May Corporation USA, where, you know, I mostly do marketing, entrepreneur consulting, graphic web design, and some entertainment management. I was trying to find a way to, you know, do something for the LGBT community on a full-time basis. And I had some concepts, but I just didn't know how to actually effectively bring them out, how I was going to do that. So when I was actually at home, I know I was invited to actually share a booth space with her during that particular year at Pride. And as that was actually being formulated, I was thinking to myself, okay, what is it that I can actually really present that I actually make a statement, and that will actually, you know, what type of brand can I actually present at this time to that market? So I was actually out meditating. I think I was out shopping that particular year, and it dawned on me through meditation, why not create a talent agency and a production company that's exclusive to the LGBT community? And once that epiphany came to me, and that vision came to me, I was actually overwhelmed with joy, because I was thinking about how much of a blessing that would be to many of the talents who are comfortable with who they are and who are out but need that same break. Many of those who are out now that are actually major legends in the entertainment industry, a lot of them had to suppress who they were in order to, be a success. Now, you had your exceptional ones, such as, you know, legendary Sylvester, such as, a few others. And, of course, you know, when RuPaul came on the scene, he actually just opened the door all the way, because he was actually our icon for the 90s, while Sylvester was our icon for the 70s, early 80s. So, but, you know, the majority of many people who probably were gay, but they, like I said, they couldn't come out, they couldn't afford it because the entertainment industry did not allow that per se. And so even though we knew there were a lot of people behind the scenes during that time, but it was still different. So when I was thinking about that, and also during that same particular year, we talking about like '03, right after the millennium, there was already talk and preparations about logo, about Here TV, about the Q Television Network, which was very short-lived.
Q1 out of it, Florida.
Yeah, it was very short-lived, and I think two additional, either one or two additional other networks. That's what had been LGBT based. So there was a lot of talk and a lot of media blitz about these new networks coming on board that was going to be LGBT exclusive. So that was our ticket to actually try to do something. I said, well, these talents are going to need representation. They're going to need someone that can understand who they are and actually push and promote and market them. Not just book them, but push, promote, and market them as who they are. So without compromise. And so that's how the inspiration for Meak Productions came about. And then looking at myself as an artist, I was at a point to where I was ready to be my authentic self. So Meak Productions actually saved my life, really. And even though I actually came, to the grips with my sexuality when I was in the 10th grade, but to publicly come out, that gradually happened from 1993 on down. When I first started participating in the beginning of the Black LGBT movement here in Atlanta, and that was prior to the existence of In the Life Atlanta, which of course is the official organization for Atlanta Black Pride. So, there's a lot of history there, and so that's how Meak Productions came about, and it started out as an information website because I wanted to test the waters to see the response and how much support we would get, and since everything was basically still on me, and trying to see if I can get other potential sponsors or investors to actually be a part of it, so everything was still on me, so I had to take my time with it. So it was just an informational website, and by the time I was able to do it full time, it was actually during the time of the recession. And when my main business, that is my bread and butter, when that actually took a hit and business started to get slow, then I was inspired through meditation that, okay, I have this other business that's actually just been in cyberspace that's just been sitting there. And even though people have been clicking, connecting, and reaching out, but there was really no major push or fanfare as we wanted it to be. We did some little marketing to try to tell people this is coming, but we never really, I never really had the backing like I wanted to. So when things slowed down with my other business, then what kept me motivated was the fact that I had this particular, Meat Productions is actually considered my baby. So after I had my second baby over here that I got to birth and get off the ground. And so our saving grace was social media. And that was when MySpace, this was prior to the existence of the public existence of Facebook, because we know Facebook started in the college circuit before it became public. So we created a MySpace page, and for Meak Productions, and we started like an online casting call. I said, well, we can't say that we have a talent agency. There's no talent. So we got to get some faces. So we actually did our online casting call on MySpace. Around 2006, and between 06 and 07. And between those years, we got our first group, after so many submissions, we got our first group of people that we felt that had the potential of taking their talents or abilities to the next level, and that needed the marketing and the promotion support that I was able to give them. We started our first talent agency marketing campaign in fall of 07. With our first talent of the month. He was known by the name of Daddy. I think he's Daddy Hicks right now, but he's no longer with us. And that's how that started. And from those monthly to quarterly talent marketing campaigns, which was our avenue to get the word out that this agency or this type of concept existed, that's what started. It was like a domino effect from then on. We had our first public presence at Atlanta Black Pride in 2008. Right after that, immediately following in 2009, we launched our media division, which we are now in our 5th anniversary of our media division now, where we have about a total of four online syndicated shows, both radio and online video on YouTube.
Okay, and tell me something about some of those shows as well as the clients that you represent. I do recall being, I'm usually in Atlanta for Labor Day weekend, and I've always stopped by your area, your booth at the hotel. This year I did it too, and I saw a number of people I was familiar with, such as Marlo Rainbow, who is Septimius.
Septimius the Great, that's his new name.
Yes, Anthony Antoine and Tim M. West and who is that other artist that I'm just so crazy about? The number of artists. Tell me about some of your clients and some of the projects that you're working on.
Okay, now getting into the media division, some of the talents that you see us promote and push, some of them are not with Meek Productions. They're actually a part of our new, they're actually artists that we push, that we actually play on our LGBT radio show, which of course is called called the Various Artist Talent Showcase. The artist that is actually with, or that Meek Productions did work with, is, for example, on the music end, is, for example, Tony Enos. He's our first gentleman of our music department, because he was like one of the first music acts that we did a full-fledged, we was actually heavily involved with the debut of his album. Of his first debut album. We did all the marketing promotions for it, the CD cover design for it. We did all of that. We sponsored his first CD single. His second CD single. That was actually his first, but it was his first remix project that actually made like really opened the door for him to take his career to the next level. And so it was so. And during that time, Marlo Rainbow actually came to us in '08. And he registered with us in '08, so he was a part of our first summer quarter of talent in '08, and then he became Mr. Meek Productions '09 in 2009.
So does that mean that you also have clients that are in the pageantry systems, such as Marlon Rainbow and the Men of Rainbow?
Marlon was actually our first. That was involved in the that was actually mostly recognized. I know our first transgender talent of the month, Taina Norell. I know she did a lot of pageants and stuff like that, but as far as recognized on a consistent basis in the pageantry circuit, Marlo was the first male that came on board, and he was the one that introduced us to that pageantry circuit, because at the time he was the chairman, the CEO of Mr. and Mrs. International. And we actually, once we started our media division, we were the first to actually be their media sponsor when they had their event. And what year was that? I think that was in 2010, when they had their first debut event under that brand in Jackson, Mississippi. So we actually went out there and did a live remote. We did a live radio broadcast and stuff. So it was very awesome and stuff. So that was our first time getting involved on the media circuit. But we was already pushing and promoting Marlo Rainbow as a recording artist. More as a model and as a recording artist. We was already working with him from '08 on down.
So it sounds like you're in many different areas of media and entertainment.
Yeah, because Meek Productions is not, the talent agency division is just one aspect. We have our new media division. We have our special projects division, which of course handles any special event ideas that we have. And under the talent agency division, we also have, it's broken down into so many arenas. We have the main talent agency division where, we deal with most of the actors, models, whatever. Then we have our music division for all of our music talents, and that's Meek Pro Music, and that's the name of our official record label. Then under that, we have that's Meek Pro Music, and then we have, for those who are involved in adult entertainment, such as our exotic dancers, adult actors and models, we have Meek Pro Adult Entertainment. And that's a separate website because we know that that's a separate industry. So,
yes.
But what I like about the way that we did it is, I say we do want to represent those talents, but what we wanted to do was, to those who are looking to get out of that particular, the adult scene, but still want to remain in entertainment, it's a smooth transition. And so how we market the adult talents, we always tell them, make sure that when you do photo shoots, don't just do one in nude. Make sure that you do one in swimwear, professional wear and stuff, so that we can, when we do our talent agency campaigns, we can also include you in our talented agency campaigns that goes to the main public.
So you're sort of all over the place then.
Yeah, because it was very structured. Of course there were some challenges because just when, you know how it is when you start a business, when you start a concept, when you think you got support and assistance, you don't, and then you end up having to be a one-man show again.
Yes. Yes, I know that all too well.
Hallelujah. So no. So can I get a witness? So that's really what's been going on with me. It's like, it's been some challenges and trying to keep it going, trying to maintain it. There are days that you don't. It's like just when you think you want to throw in the towel, then you get this other woof of strength and inspiration to keep it going. So so that people would know, Meat Productions is a full-fledged production and entertainment company. These other aspects that you see are just other subsidiaries and divisions of that.
Okay.
And as far as our media shows, we have 4 syndicated shows now. Our first one, which is getting ready to take on a whole new brand now. Our first show was Same Gender Loving Expressions, and it launched. The pilot show started 5 years ago, August of '09. And then it became we did like 2 pilots, a part 1, part 2, and then we did our first weekly show, started in the mid part of September. And it was on every Monday night, and our first syndicated radio outlet was the Exceptional Radio Network.
So I'm taking a look at some of the, I'm looking at your YouTube channel, and I see Tony Eno's is video diary, and I see a interview here with C.J. Jones, and wow, just see so many things here. History of Black Gay Atlanta. Go ahead.
That speaking of that, I'm glad you talked about that. That's another part of our new division because Meat Productions is a company that's for all LGBT people. Because our goal was, when we started Meat Productions, one of the things that I saw, me being a person of color myself, I didn't see enough representation back then of people of color and of people of other ethnicities on a frequent basis. Most likely, when it came to the LGBT image in mainstream, you mostly saw our brothers and sisters of European descent. You didn't see enough of Asian. You didn't see enough of the Latino Hispanic. You didn't see enough of Black African American. You didn't see enough of the Middle Eastern or any of those other cultures on a consistent basis. You mostly saw our brothers and sisters of European descent. So I had made one of my main intents was, when I started Meat Productions, I wanted to make sure that every aspect, the L, the G, the B, and the T, was represented, and I wanted to make sure that at least all cultures that represent the LGBT community was represented. And so when we started our talent agency campaigns, one thing that I can say that I'm proud of is that first year that we did those campaigns, we at least had one representative from each culture. Because I remember, I think doing I think by the time we got to our first spring quarter of our talent agency marketing campaigns, that was spring quarter of '08, we had an LGBT representative from the Asian community, Black, Latino, Hispanic, of course European descent, and we also had Middle Eastern.
And why was that important to make sure that diversity was represented? Because
that was the main, keep in mind, that was the main campaign that was going on from the LGBT community. It was about diversity and really about more inclusion. And so, and if you go back, because you talk like you're around about my same age, if you actually go back to the year of the early part of the millennium, like the late 90s and early part of the millennium, and when you look at the LGBT image back then, you would see that it was mostly lily white.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? And so even when it came to the films, when it came to certain shows, when it came to those things, it was mostly lily white. You didn't see a lot of representations of color on a frequent basis. If you saw it, it was like it was like very sporadic. Like one here, one or two here, and one or two there, but it wasn't on a consistent basis.
Right.
And that always it was very interesting to me. Okay, we talk about diversity, but where is the diversity in the media? Where is the diversity in entertainment? Where is that diversity? We don't see that enough, like it should be. And where is the inclusion? What are being done about making sure that we have enough allies in these places, especially when it comes to entertainment? So that was very important to me. And of course, now the biggest challenge was to try to maintain that. And so in trying to maintain that, when it comes to certain talents, you have those who are serious and those who are not. Some folks fall off because they are not as serious as the others. And so you pay attention to those who you know that are more consistent. So, but yeah, that's what we've really been, trying to do with the vision, to make sure that it represents all of the alphabet in our community.
Yeah, see, you mentioned LGBT. There's also the Q and the I now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The Q and the I. And I really leave it up to the person. Okay, how do you want to represent? But we know, to be politically correct, we know that it's known as as far as mainstream, it's known as LGBT. So yeah, they mostly just use that. But yeah. Go ahead.
What is one of the biggest challenges you're facing right now, and what have you done to overcome that challenge?
The biggest challenge is really getting the community to support, because I think I was very naive in thinking that, especially by me being a member of the community, and by this being such a unique concept, and with all of the LGBT talents that we know that are out there that are looking for a chance, I was really expecting the LGBT public to really grasp this, which is one of the reasons why we started on social media, because we wanted to make sure that it was actually, if it was going to be worldwide, we wanted to make sure that we not only use the power of the internet, but also use the power of social media at that time. And, over the years, it began to pay it off. But what really opened the doors for the vision as a whole was media. When we came out with our first syndicated radio show, and when we started doing live radio remotes, when we started participating as media sponsors for a lot of events, and we actually made history in Atlanta and in some cases abroad. We was actually the first radio, because a lot of people didn't have they had a lot of print media, but they didn't have radio media and online TV media or video media. And we, in many cases, was the first radio media sponsor for a lot of organizations. Case in point, if you look at our portfolio, we was the first for radio media, online radio media for In the Life Atlanta. We was the first for the International Day Against Homophobia here in Atlanta. We was the first for the Transgender Day of Remembrance. And we was also the first outlet to actually do live recording and broadcasts of their events and town hall meetings. Nobody else was doing that. None of the other Atlanta-based shows that was here was actually doing live recordings and broadcasts of community panel discussions, town hall meetings, because we wanted to make sure that our community was accountable and knowing what was going on right then and there when certain situations were happening. So so we actually made a lot of, we didn't even know we was becoming trailblazers on that media aspect until, certain people told us that, we've never had this before. And, we saw a need, and we just jumped into it. And so I would like to really give a shout-out to the Exception, the parent company of the Exceptional Radio Network, which is the 10th Amendment Media Group. They became our first straight allies and partners when it came to launching our media division, because they gave us our first platform on radio.
So what is it that you do then to get the community involved and get them excited about what you're doing? You're there
actually
in the Black Gay Mecca.
Yeah, see, and that's with the Black Gay Mecca, what we've done is that we've created different brands that specifically reach the Black Mecca. Like I said, since Meak Productions is an LGBT-based company, I wanted to make sure that, even though I am a person of color, I wanted to make sure that people understood that Meak Productions is for all the LGBT community. Now, when it comes to what we do for the Black LGBT community, I've created a separate brand for that, and that's called History of Black Gay America. Okay. And getting involved with that is one of the reasons why I named it that is because me being over 40 now, I wanted to make sure that the next generation knew about the lineage and the heritage of starting here with my home state, Atlanta, Georgia, starting with this where we at now. I wanted to make sure that the next generation knew about the beginnings and the legacy of the LGBT movement here. And we started that particular brand when we did the first Black Pride press conference for the 15th anniversary of Atlanta Black Pride back in 2011. And after that happened, we just named the actual broadcast recording history of Black Gay Atlanta, just honored the 15th anniversary. Didn't know that that took on a whole movement of its own. People liked what we did with the press conference, and then we started doing it every year. And then that's how it began to have a brand of its own, because you can actually go to our website and go to the History of Black Gay America section, or either just go straight to that particular sub-website, which is blackgayusa.meakproductions.com, and you can actually see the very first live recording of that Black Pride press conference that we did from 2011, and every recording we did thereafter. Because the first one we did was the live radio. That next following year, that's when we did both radio and video, and we tried to keep that consistent.
Now, I read somewhere that you are also involved in a LGBT music awards of some kind. Tell me a little bit about that.
If you're talking about, was that this year?
It may have been last year or year before. I'm not exactly sure which year. I don't recall seeing a year attached to that.
Now, I know what we do is, I know as a result of our LGBT music show, the Various Artist Talent Showcase, and that airs at least between, we try to make sure that show airs twice a month, amongst our other shows that air weekly, or that we try to make sure that something airs weekly. That show was actually created to push and promote independent and underground LGBT music artists that will, that will, normally not get played on mainstream radio. So I wanted to provide a platform for artists, not just those that's registered with our agency, but even other, even other talents that's in need of that type of radio exposure. And so what we do every year to honor the actual the year anniversary of the actual launch of the radio show is we kind of do like a voting process, vote for the number one most played LGBT music artist on our show. And and what we do is those who get the most votes, of course, we'll include all of that in our top 20 countdown. And the one that gets the most votes, of course, is the one that actually is number one on the top 20 countdown. So that's how that started. As far as with the awards, our first time being a part of something that had something to do with music awards was this year when the Atlanta Underground Music Awards, we partnered together and worked with them. They had us to come on board to help them with their first LGBT music night during the Atlanta Underground Music Awards weekend. And so they wanted to introduce the music night first before they actually decided to add a category. So next year, they're going to actually add an LGBT artist category under the Atlanta Underground Music Awards. And, of course, we'll be involved with that because now we have an actual partnership with them. So we made history this year with the Atlanta Underground Music Awards and being their very first LGBT liaison.
Is there an area in the entertainment industry, as far as film and web series seem to be a big thing now, is there an area that you would like to go in that you're not already in?
We're actually, what we've been trying to do is we've been trying to make connections with film producers, filmmakers and stuff to try to actually, so that they can start utilizing our agency to let them know, hey, we're available. We do have talents on our roster. We do have some actors who are looking for opportunities to be a part of something like this, to build their portfolio, to build their repertoire. And so that's what we've been trying to do. Now, we had a chance to do that for the first time back in, I think that was 2011 when, I don't know if you heard of Dwight Allen O'Neal. And he was registered with our agency because he was actually referred from, I think, his celebrity publicist at the time. And we did his first marketing campaign for him as a talent. And then when he was actually getting ready to produce his next series called Cocktails, we got on board and we became his official agency for that particular series, which actually was put on hold. He did his first episode, but I think the series was put on hold for a number of reasons. And I think that was something on their end. But I know we handled their casting call here in Atlanta. I know they had somebody else to handle the casting call up in, I think, in New York. But we handled the casting call here in Atlanta, and we was the official agency from Atlanta to handle that. So that was our actually first time working on the film project through the agency.
Well, I know I'm in Atlanta. We have the guys of Free Fall, Lamont Pierre, and some of the others. And there's a gentleman, Larry Philly Carter, who I just happened to speak to a couple of weeks ago, who's also there, who has a web series based in Atlanta. Have you worked with any of those artists to maybe promote or even support their endeavor?
The thing is that with them, we wanted to, like I said, it was our mission to try to reach as many filmmakers as possible. By the time I think we found out about them, they had already started the project. And so 9 times out of 10, when it comes to many of these filmmakers, sometimes they handle their own casting. And our goal is to try to find these particular filmmakers and these producers that, want to actually outsource their casting. So, you see what I'm saying? So it really depends. And sometimes, it could be disappointing at times. It's like, dog, how come y'all couldn't come to us? You know what I'm saying? So we're doing all this work to let y'all know that there's an agency and stuff like that, So it can kind of get disappointing at times and frustrating. But what we do is we try to, push and promote the agency as best we can. And there are times where, usually I think at times I have support, at times I don't. Everything falls back on me again. So I try to go to as many networking events as possible that's industry related to let people know that if you're looking to reach into the LGBT market, if you're looking for actors who are LGBT that can play certain roles, if you're looking for that, please consider us. And so that's what we're trying to do now. We're actually trying to go to areas, even on the straight end, that don't have LGBT liaisons.
I see.
That are interested in reaching out to the community, but they don't know how. And so we made a lot of leeway with that, first with the Atlanta Underground Music Awards, and then 5 years ago with the Exceptional Radio Network, because when they were seeking an LGBT-based show, but they were seeking an LGBT-based show that wasn't the stereotype. They wanted something that dealt with more of the community, that dealt with real issues. And then when they presented us with that opportunity, we jumped on it. And we took it and we ran with it, and so that's how we became their company's first LGBT liaison, and so that's how that started. So that's what we're working on now as an additional outlet, as well as still, trying to reach out to other LGBT filmmakers who are, have projects and stuff, and try to, persuade them to utilize our agency.
You know what? I have to put you on the spot only because I will get the hate mail from folks saying, you had this guy on the phone, and he talked about his organization. But who is he? Mm-hmm. And I think the way you get to know a person is when they tell you something about themselves that nobody else knows.
Mm-hmm.
So tell me something about you that nobody else knows until now.
Okay. Some of that I kind of mentioned because a lot of people didn't know I've been in entrepreneurship for 20 years. Many people didn't know that I am a performing artist. I'm a singer, songwriter, producer myself. Because I think when certain people, those that know me in the community now that didn't know me in the community prior to the existence of ITLA, prior to meeting some of the earlier pioneers that actually the trailblazers and stuff that actually started the Black LGBT movement here in Atlanta. I think there's a lot of things that they don't know, and I think they begin to start noticing that once I created the History of Black Gay America brand, and then I started to interview Atlanta natives like myself and other pioneers who was there during the beginning. A lot of people don't know that, speaking of music, I'm a graduate of a Northside School of the Performing Arts, and that's the same school that Jasmine Guy graduated from. And I was trained not just in gospel as a gospel vocalist, but also in classical.
Okay, so I need to step back a little bit because you just said some very interesting things.
Mm-hmm.
You were trained as a artist, as a performer, as well as being an entrepreneur?
I was trained as an artist. My desire to have my own business, that came as a result of me wanting to pursue a career in entertainment. I always saw growing up, I always used to stare at album covers, and I think every music connoisseur and every person that who is an artist, I grew up during the time of the LPs.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? I grew up during the time of the LPs and the 45s, 12-inch singles. A lot of people don't know that I DJ.
You needed to actually make it play, and it
okay, yeah,
put in the middle of
yes, baby, yes.
I just heard about those. I mean, I'm getting excited, but it's just maybe I just heard about it. I don't know them personally. I do know.
Because see, I was there. Matter of fact, I was a senior in high school when they introduced the first CD. When CDs first became the phenomenon, I was actually like junior and senior in high school when all that happened. That's like 88, 89, when they started selling CDs and stuff and all of that stuff. And then you had to have a CD player and all of that stuff. So, yeah, it was just so phenomenal. But back then, I used to always, and I was a big avid person. I was heavily involved in the church at the time and heavily in the gospel. And so how I studied the industry was I used to always read the linear notes. Who was the executive producer? Who was the producer? Who was the arrangers? The songwriters? How it was published, and all of that. And so after I used to do all of that, as well as not only listening to the music and these artists, but I used to always pay attention to the quality of the recording, how the engineering was done, even before I got into engineering. So I kind of knew that if I wanted to be an artist, I wanted to be in control of my product. So I said, well, in order to do that, I got to actually have my own production company. I got to, if I want my name as executive producer on my project, then, I knew what I had to do. Hence is the reason why I went to the Art Institute at the time. They had their music business management program. That was their degree program at the time, music business management. And that's why I went there, because I knew that I could get the professional training I needed after high school and go straight into my major, get training in audio recording, video, television production, music, songwriting, publishing, copyright law, all of that. Business management, we had all of that in one, major, which is music business management. They taught you everything about the behind the scenes of the music business, going all the way down to advertising, marketing, promotions, retail, wholesale, all of that.
So does it really sound like you really started Meak Productions as an avenue for your own to promote yourself?
Not really.
And later it migrated?
Because see, under my first business, my first business concept was, of course, I was known as May and Associates. And then I became the May Corporation USA. But my first business concept, since I was heavily involved in gospel at the time, I was heavily in the church at the time, was Rev Productions. And so, and back during that time, the public could come out, we still had to, keep our sexuality on the low, you know what I'm saying? So, and we talking about like the 80s, and bear in mind, I'm born and raised in the Confederate South. Mm-hmm. So you know how it was during that time. We talking about the 80s, 90s. And so I was just, if we was out just amongst our friends and on the underground level, but not publicly. So, and this is just so wonderful just to reminisce and stuff, because, my birthday is coming up next Saturday. And so just to actually remember, go back over my humble beginnings and stuff, I'm very, walking in gratitude right now, because I never thought that I would be where I am today. Even though that I've still had, some challenges and stuff and getting my visions and dreams off the ground, the fact is that, you're not where you ought to be, but thank God you're not where you used to be. So, yeah, that's how that was. It's like, I always knew that I wanted to be in charge of my creativity and of my product. And back then, I was up under the brand of May Entertainment, because my name is Miko Evans, and so it's M-A-E. So I was up under May Entertainment. So May Entertainment was going to be for me as an artist, whether I would be in gospel or soul music or whatever. And Meak Productions came later, when the revelation about me, doing something for the LGBT community started growing. So the Meat Productions concepts came later, and that was, really for the other LGBT artists. But by me also being an LGBT artist myself, working with other LGBT artists also helped free me even more. It took it to the next level.
There's an organization called LARA, the LGBT Arts, I want to say it right, because I know my friend Deepa Soul will kill me if I said it wrong. But this organization is in charge of out music, and
you're talking about Deidre, right?
Academy of Recording Arts. Yes, that's what.
You're talking about Deidre, right?
Yes, Deidre Meredith, a.k.a. Deepa Soul.
Yeah.
Have you worked with that organization or other organizations like that or like yours?
We was the first organization of our kind, and it's really kind of interesting that you even bring Deidre up, because we reached out to Deidre right after we started our first, we was in our first quarter of our first radio show. And we reached out to Deidre because I think this was during the time when this was not after too long, when she just became president of the Out Music Awards, because we had heard about the Out Music Awards back during its early beginnings. And this, like I said, this was pre-Meak Productions now. We heard about the I had heard about the Out Music Awards in the late 90s. This is how a lot of people don't understand, because I'm trying to find out, was it called Out Music back then, or was it just the LGBT Music Awards? I think it was Out Music Awards back then, but during that time, they had started, because after RuPaul had opened up so many doors, and then by that time, George Michael came out, Elton John finally came out, and all these other artists.
Elton John was always out.
You know what I'm saying? So to speak. But, as far as, it, actually being broadcasted that he was, an artist who was actually gay. I'm just saying that I had ran across the Out Music Awards, and that information, I had ran across them like in the late night, like 99, 2000. Right. And then, of course, they kind of went off the scene for a minute. And then when they came back on the scene, that's when I saw where Deidre was the new president. So when I got across that information, we had reached out to them because we were trying to see if we could be a media sponsor for that particular, I think that particular show, a show of, the reintroduction of the Out Music Awards and stuff like that. So I think when we reached out to them, nobody actually really got back in touch with us. Or what happened was when we finally talked, they were, at that time, they was actually looking more for, I think, financial contributions and not for actually in kind. So I think that was what was going on at that time and stuff. So, but we had some of our other artists register during that time. And so, but as far as working with Deidre one-on-one, we never had the opportunity to do that. We always wanted to, though.
Okay. There's always a possibility.
Yeah, there's always a possibility.
Okay. And what was the question I wanted to ask? You keep mentioning that you are also a performer.
Mm-hmm.
And it wouldn't be right if I didn't put you on the spot and had you sing something for us. I do this to everybody,
late in the evening.
I'm kind of surprised that people are still surprised when I say, "Can you perform something for me?"
Oh,
sing a
boy.
little something.
Well, I'm from the church background. I'm from old school, so as they used to say back in church,
I'm
be ye also ready.
I'm from the church too.
They used to say, "Be ye also ready." and stuff. And so you know how it used to be when they used to call you up in church and they had you sing a little solo A&B selection, and you had to be ready and stuff. So it's just the fact, okay, what am I going to actually sing real quick that's real easy? I'll
Anything off the top of your head.
I'll sing something. I'll sing a
Let them
old
use
familiar.
you. We'll do one of the Shirley Caesar things, where Shirley said, "Oh, y'all, I got this frog chasing me today. I don't think I'm going to be right." And then we hand her the mic.
So you start.
So that's what we're going to do to you right now.
If you start making me laugh, I can go ahead and do it. I just love it. I love your spirit, man. Lord, I hear of showers of blessings now are scattering full and free. Showers of thirsty souls refreshing. Let some drops now fall on me. How's that?
Ibobo shababa.
Woo! See, don't get me started now, see. I had to get up for that one. Woo!
Right, so you can sing. You sing from the diaphragm and not...
Woo, Lord. Even me, Lord, even me. Yes. So,
Is there anything else you need to tell us? Well, you know what? Here's the thing I want you to tell us. Where can we find your radio show? Where and when is it broadcast? And then part 2, if I am a LGBT artist and I would like to submit some music or even be interviewed on your show, how do I do that?
now, see, that's multiple questions all in one. See, you slick. Instead of you just breaking it down, say just we'll go with this question here, that question there, and this question here. You just want to lump all of them into one, and then I got to remember. Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on for a minute. I said, okay, I got to remember what question did he ask right after that? Now, after I answered the first one.
Okay, the first question is when was the radio show? And the second question is, if I'm an artist, how can I become a part of your show or submit a piece of music to be played?
I got you. Our main website, of course, is www.meak as in kite, productions with an S.com. That's our main website, and where you can go and see our 5 to 10 year portfolio of our past to current talents that we've marketed and promoted, that we've pushed. And for our media division, for all of our previously broadcast shows and anything that's current, go to our media website, which of course is media.meakproductions.com, and you will see the list of our shows, such as the music show, which is the Various Artist Talent Showcase, which is VATS, B-A-T-S for short. You'll see also our History of Black Gay America link there. You'll see Meek Pro Media live on location. You'll see our previously recorded and broadcasted radio and video shows there. So it's through our media division website that you can actually see and hear all of our shows from now all the way going back to our first show back to 2009. So, and once we announce the show, either weekly or bi-weekly, then it's available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week online. It's free download. If you are an LGBT music artist, if you like to get your music played on our show, then you can follow us via social media. Our main Facebook page, of course, is facebook.com/Meak Productions, M-E-A-K as in kite, Productions with an S. And for the actual LGBT music show, it's facebook.com/various artists with the S LGBT. And what you can do is you can actually just send us a message via our Facebook page, about how you want to get your music played on our show, and then we'll add you to the private group for our LGBT music show that's strictly for LGBT music artists and DJs to submit and post their tracks on the private Facebook group page.
All right. That is wonderful.
If you want to be a talent of the agency, if you want to actually be a talent of our agency, or if you are a producer or filmmaker and you're looking for services, such as someone to handle your casting calls, someone to handle certain types of events, any type of media consulting, what have you, then for talent, first of all, you go to our main website, meakproductions.com, click the home page, and then you'll see a link that says talent registration. Very simple. And we are also updating. Yeah, we're also updating our website too. So that's why right now you see like a temporary landing page of our most newest stuff and newest marketing campaigns, and then there's a link to our old website for all of the other stuff. But we're actually updating our site now. And over the course, we're trying to make sure we have something done at least by the beginning of the new year, because we're trying to learn all the new software and everything now, make sure that we stay current when it comes to technology and our presentation online. So, yeah.
All right. So, Mr. Evans, I want to thank you very much for your time this evening and for singing.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I've always wanted to get with you all anyway, and you got to be a special guest on my show now.
Sure. Can I sing on there too?
Yeah, of course you can.
Okay, I'm going to probably have to have my CD or something like that played.
Yeah, of course, because if you are a recording
I can't sing
artist,
live. I'm a studio artist.
Oh, you one of those.
Yeah. Where I sound like, and I come out sounding like Luther Vandross or somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, so.
See, you got to be auto-tuned.
Auto-tuned, retuned, and overtuned.
Oh, well.
So I want to thank you very much for your time this evening.
Thank you so much, brother. Once again, the honor is truly mine. Thank you so much for the invitation. I love the work that you all are doing, because in my book, there is no such thing as competition. It's not about competition. It's about collaboration. And
that's right.
The more new media outlets, because that's what our industry, those of us who have shows online or that's strictly online, we are considered new media. And the more variety of new media shows and outlets that are out there, especially for our community, the better. And to all of you traditional folks that trying to hate on those of us on the internet, don't play a hate. You might as well just participate, because we the next phase.
All right.
Yeah, because everything is going to internet and satellite thanks to this technology with the smartphones and the iPads and the iPhones and stuff. So, hey, get ready.
All right. All right. Thank you, sir. I appreciate your time this evening.
And thank you so much. You take care, okay?
All right.
All right, then. Bye-bye.